under section 81C and 81D of CVC Act, which empowers the Commission to receive complaints and to call investigation into complaints. How to call investigation? We send it to you, to the CBOs or to CBI or to any other investigating agency for investigation. Commission also has the powers to conduct direct inquiry. Because under section 11 of CVC Act, we have the powers of civil code. So under using those powers, we can conduct direct inquiry, we can summon evidence, we can summon witnesses, we can call for records, a record statement, every power that is available to a civil court that is available to the Central Vigilance Commission also. But that is not the main topic here, it is the how do we handle complaint. So as far as Central Vigilance Commission is concerned, and which would be applicable to you also, complaints are to be made in written form. Or since we have a dedicated portal for lodging complaints, complaints can be lodged on that portal also. So I don't know whether Core India and other organizations, they have a dedicated portal for complaints or not. Yes. Yeah. So public can directly make complaint on that. Okay. So a written complaint has to be signed complaint. The address of the complainant has to be there. His signature has to be there. His personal contacted, and the Commission has decided not to accept complaints through emails. Now, a few people raised this issue that by not accepting emails, we are closing one source of receiving complaints, or we are restricting the right of the general public to make complaints. But that is not so. A person who can make a complaint through email, it means the person has basic knowledge about the information technology. He is a tech-savvy person who can use technology. So in order to facilitate that his complaint is received at the right place and prompt action is taken, we have a dedicated portal. So a person who can make who can send an email, he can make a complaint on the portal also. So that is why in order to facilitate quick action on the complaint, we are encouraging people to make complaint through our portal, and whenever somebody makes a complaint, yeah.
So what does it mean? It means if some complaint is received through emails, you do not have to take care of that. You will leave that as it is.
No, not that. We will not process that complaint, but we inform the complainant that the Commission has a dedicated portal. So you please go to the portal and lodge your complaint there.
So what if someone has complained to our GA business?
No, if someone has complained to an organization, it is for the organization to decide whether they would take cognizance of that complaint through email or not. In case you have a dedicated portal, so you can do away with the process of entertaining complaints through emails because it has many pitfalls. And one reason is that when somebody is sending a complaint through email, so he has the liberty to send the complaint to hundreds of employees of an organization. So what practically happens, or what happened in our organization also, that everybody would take a printout and he would send it to the complaint cell. So one complaint, for one complaint, 100 printouts are taken. If we take on an average that a complaint consists of 3 pages, it means 300 pages are listed. Number one. Number two, one complaint is entered at 100 places. So it becomes practically it is one complaint, but on paper these becomes 100 complaints. So the number gets increased or inflated unnecessarily. And when you are processing that complaint, so suppose you may not remember every time that this person had made a complaint earlier, or complaint might have been processed at different levels. Somebody might be processing it in vigilance unit, somebody might be processing in some administrative division or the particular division or vertical to which that complaint belongs. So multiplicity would be there. in order to avoid all these problems, what I would suggest, if you have a dedicated portal, you inform the complainant, you encourage them to lodge the complaint directly on the portal. That way, in the commission, we ensure that immediate action is taken on the complaint. If somebody is lodging a complaint on the portal, so within minutes it comes to our notice that somebody has lodged a complaint, and we start processing it.
But we want directly take cognizance of it.
Pardon?
But
No, we don't take direct cognizance. We inform him. We do not.
inform it that is go to this portal and
Yes,
solve
yes,
that.
yes. We inform him so that his job is also because.
What if in our department we are taking cognizance of that email, just through email?
You can take.
We can.
You can take. There is no bar on that. We have done in order to facilitate quick action on the complaint, or to have a centralized database and to ensure that one person does not send repeated complaints to hundreds of people. Because see, when you are sending an email, you can send it to n number of people. So there are various practical problems, but there is no legal bar on taking cognizance of complaint through email. You can continue to do that, or you can adopt the mechanism which has been adopted by the commission, that complaints through emails are not entertained. But please do not simply file it. Inform the complainant that we have a proper mechanism for lodging complaints. So please use that mechanism. Okay. Now, anonymous or pseudonymous complaints, they are not to be entertained. There is a reason for that why do we not entertain anonymous, pseudonymous complaints? Because you might be knowing about that PITB resolution or whistleblower complaint. So, in whistleblower complaint, the identity of the complainant is not disclosed in order to ensure that the interest of the complainant, they are safeguarded. His identity is not disclosed. If any person fears that he may be harmed if he lodges, if his name comes to notice, then he can lodge a complaint through PITB route. So there is no need for a person to remain anonymous or to send a pseudonymous complaint. That is why these anonymous complaints are not entertained as per Commission's guidelines. And these complaints are not to be entertained by you also. You are not supposed to take action on any anonymous or pseudonymous complaint. Now, in fact, as far as the Commission is concerned, the complaint should be against the persons who are covered under Commission's jurisdiction. In your case, there is no such restriction because you are dealing with all levels of employees of your organization. So complaint against any level of organization can be sent to you, but since you are a PSU, in case you receive a complaint against board level officer, that you are not authorized to deal with. In case you receive a complaint against a board level officer, straight away forward it to the CBO of the Ministry of Coal, of course it would be in your case. Send it to the CBO, they would act on that. But apart from that, you can take action on any complaint provided it is not anonymous, pseudonymous, and it has a perceptible vigilance angle. And the respect of the Commission, we take cognizance of complaints having a vigilance angle because we are dealing with vigilance cases only. And if there are other allegations which are administrative in nature, then we forward it to the CBO of the respective organization for taking further necessary action. Similarly, in the vigilance unit also, what you can do that whenever you receive a complaint and if it does not have a vigilance angle, you forward it to that particular unit to which it belongs for taking further necessary action. If a complaint is having a vigilance angle, it has to be dealt with by you only. Now,
Sir,
yeah,
if someone makes a complaint in PP, will that be disclosed to our CBO in our company? Or that may be
you see, a complaint under PIP cannot be made to CBO of your organization. Okay? It has to be made either to the CVC or to the CBO of the ministry. So whatever complaint you will receive under PIP, you will receive through the commission or through CBO of the ministry.
that may be disclosed to CBOs of company or not?
Of course, we would know that.
CBO at legal, CBO in our company.
CBO in your company, no. Suppose a complaint, I'll come to that because I'm covering PIP separately. I will come to that, I will explain how it is done. So let's not get confused. But to the CBO of the organization, the name would not be revealed. Okay. Now, when we decide that the complaint does not have a vigilance angle, either we will file it or we will send it to the CBO for necessary action. So in that case, the commission does not take confirmation from the complainant. Confirmation from the complainant is to be taken by the CBO of the organization to which it has been sent. In case you receive a complaint from the commission for investigation and report, then of course the name and address of the complainant would be there, but you are not required to seek confirmation from the complainant because confirmation has already been taken by the commission. Whenever a complaint is being sent to you for investigation and report, it would mean that commission has already taken confirmation from the complainant. Only after taking care of the suspect, the complaint is forwarded to you for investigation and report. But for necessary action, it is you who has to take confirmation from the complainant. As far as the confirmation is to be taken, I am sure you might be knowing that when you send an immediate letter, how much time you give? 15 days. And if you do not receive any confirmation from him, you send another letter, wait for another 15 days. If no reply comes, file it. You cannot wait endlessly. Or if you receive a reply that the post from postal that insufficient address, no such person at this address, it means it is a pseudonymous complaint. So you have to simply file it. Okay. Now, when a complaint is being sent to you for investigation and report, then a time frame of 3 months is given to you for conducting investigation and submitting a report to the commission. One thing you have to be careful is that when the commission sends the complaint to you for investigation and report, whether the complaint has a vigilance angle or not, a report is invariably sent to the commission. You cannot decide to close the complaint at your level saying that it did not have a vigilance angle. You cannot decide on that. But when a complaint is received directly by you, then you go through the complaint, and if the complaint does not have a vigilance angle, you decide what is required to be done. If you feel that it is a very vague complaint, does not merit any action, you can file it, of course with the consent of the CBO. And you feel it is only an administrative matter, maybe some grievance, it may be genuine, but it is a grievance. It does not have any vigilance angle. Then you can forward it to the head of that particular unit for taking action on that. But if the complaint has a vigilance angle, you have to take further action on that. If you find that on scrutiny of the complaint, if you find that it has a vigilance angle, then you first seek confirmation from the complainant along with a proof of identity. And because I have seen in many organizations that whenever they are seeking a proof of identity, they are sending communication through mail. Please do not send this letter for confirmation through mail. It has to be sent through post only. And you must seek a copy of his identity proof you should not insist on one particular document. You can, what you have to say, please provide us proof of identity issued by any government agency. You cannot restrict to say provide a copy of your PAN card, provide a copy of your Aadhaar card only, or your passport only, voter ID card only. No. Any identity proof issued by government agency, it may be ration card, it may be voter ID, it may even be a BPL card. That will also be valid. So the liberty should be given to the complainant to provide any proof which has been issued by a government agency. It should be self-attested, self-signed, and you should send the communication to the through post at the address given by him. The reason is, if you are seeking confirmation through email, there is every possibility that it can be tampered with. Now, I think you are staying in this institute only, or you are staying outside the hotel? Outside. So you might have given some document to them to confirm your identity, your I card or any paper. Now they have a copy of that. Through email, it can be with you. Somebody is having, let's say, Mr. Kumar Anubhav identity proof, some hotel people, they can misuse it. But if you are sending a communication at his postal address, you would come to know that somebody has made a complaint in his name. Immediately he will revert back that I have not made this complaint. So in order to ensure that no pseudonymous complaint is entertained, Commission has given direction that complaint to a complainant's identity proof or his confirmation should be done only through post, not through email or any other mode. This is a mistake which many organizations are making wherever we go. During audit and during other interaction, we are telling them that please do not make this mistake. Yes.
Sir, one question.
Yeah.
Sir, while seeking the confirmation, should we send the complaint also, or masking the signatures, or revealing the signatures, or the entire complaint what has been sent to us have been shared?
You are not required. You are not required to send complaint. Why? You simply ask him that we have received a complaint dated so and so.
Sometimes it does happen. We got to know that the signatures have been forged or something. The reply comes, but then the fellow says that the signature has been forged. It is not my signature.
No. What does he say? The complaint has not been made by him.
Yes.
So.
And then again, the submission is that the signature has been forged. It is not mine.
No, you see whether his signature has been forged or not. So that's another issue. But he is disowning the complaint. Am I right?
In one case, we haven't got the reply from some MLA of Jharkhand.
We don't. No, we receive. We receive complaints on the letterheads of MPs.
Yes.
We send back for confirmation. We don't get a reply. We file it.
But then again, we found the forgery also. From the phone, we got this information. Can you share it? We informally shared that, and then they said this has been forged.
No, you see, normally you are not required. But if you send a communication letter, so if somebody says, okay, I have not made this complaint, simply file it. Whether if suppose you send the copy of complaint to him, this gentleman, say Mr. Ajay, he has made a complaint, or you have received a complaint in his name. You have sent a confirmation letter. He says, please, I have not made the complaint. Please give me a copy of the complaint. Okay? If he has made a complaint, he will say, yes, I made the complaint. If he has not made the complaint, what difference does it make? Of course, somebody has forged his signature. Somebody has done forgery he has misused, somebody has misused his name, somebody has forged his signature, only then he will disown. If he himself has made it, why would he make such a statement? So sending the complaint, a copy of the complaint, that does not serve any purpose. Yeah.
It might be that the person is saying that he has made multiple complaints about same incident against his company. He has made multiple complaints to multiple forums also. Like he has complained to CBC,
Yeah.
organizations, CBI. Normally people do this.
Yeah.
They send to most of the agencies.
Yeah.
Now one veracity is done. That person is saying he is not sure whether the company, he wants the complaint detail. What is the complaint? Because he is making a multiple, he is an activist or whatever it is. So in that case.
Well, you see, if he is an activist, he would be more meticulous than you. I can assure you. These activist people, their file number, etc., that would be very meticulously given on the top left or right, and it would be more, you can say, they would be more meticulous than you. They will have all the details. So, it is not mandatory for you to send the complaint, but if you want to send, nothing is forbidding you to do that. But it does not serve any purpose. If a person has made a complaint, he will say, I made a complaint. He might have made complaint to 10, 20, 50 organizations, but he would remember कि मैंने सब्जेक्ट पे कंप्लेंट की थी, सबको की थी मैंने. Normally हर आदमी जो है उसकी एक कॉपी अपने पास रखता ही है, ये कंप्लेंट की हो तो. और एक्टिविस्ट तो पूरा रिकॉर्ड रखेगा, आपसे बढ़िया फाइल उसकी होगी. आपकी फाइल में पेपर एक आध मिसिंग हो सकता है, उसका नहीं मिलेगा. So, yeah.
Sir, actually, some people misuses this rule also.
Pardon?
Some people misuse this rule also.
Yeah.
For example, they will send a complaint, and they will contact the person against whom they have made the complaint. That I have filed a complaint against you. So you do something like this, then I will disown the complaint. Obviously, the complaint will be filed. So,
see, these are the things on which you cannot do anything. The only thing is, your job is restricted to two things. Number one, seek confirmation from the complainant. If he is disowning it, I did not make the complaint, file it. If he is owning it, then you get it investigated. That's all. It's a practical problem, and what you are wanting to say is that these complainants, they turn into blackmailers.
Yes, sir. Exactly. They are making 10 complaints, and out
You
of
see,
that 5 they are confirming, 5 not they are not.
out of which 5 they are disowning.
You see, they are, I know this problem, these RTI activists and complainants, 50% of them are blackmailers. But if I am honest, let him make a complaint. Let him say whatever he wants to say, if I am honest. If he is able to blackmail somebody and somebody is getting blackmailed, it means somebody has done something wrong. That is why he would fear.
Actually, there are so many procedures, so people feel that there must have been some procedural lapses without any bona fide intentions also. And
No,
if
see,
vigilance
if you
procedure
see,
itself is
when-
a punishment.
You see, there are professional hazards when you are dealing with any matter, whether Bansal Saab is there, he has been in government service for so many years, I am there on the verge of retirement in a couple of years at this time. So, we have dealt with thousands and thousands of files. And I am not God. I might have made mistakes, but these are genuine mistakes which I did during the part of my duty. So heaven is not going to fall. It means every month I should be distributing my pay to the blackmailers. No. So these things, if you are assured of yourself that you have taken a decision you are doing your work to the best of your capability, you need not be fearful of everything, anybody. Okay.
Do we have any provision against such blackmailers if something?
Yes, there is a provision and it can be used in our vigilance manual. Also we have given, there are provisions in CRPC and IPC that action can be taken against a person who is make frivolous or vexatious or malicious complaints. If it is a motivated complaint, action can be taken against that person. And the person against whom complaint has been made, he can take action. The can take action. If you want to take action, we took action against a couple of such complainants and they got reprimanded by the court also. So that is also there. Now let's proceed further. That when a report is, you are required to send a report to the commission. You cannot close the case at your own end. The report is to be sent to the commission even if the complaint does not have a vigilance angle, and that report should be sent within 3 months of receipt of the communication to the complainant. In case you require more time, then you should send a request to the commission for extension of time, giving the reasons why this complaint could not be investigated within the 3 months period. Now, as I told you, the complaints of administrative nature, they are either filed or they are sent for necessary action. When a complaint is sent to you for necessary action, it does not mean that you will simply file it. You go through the content of the complaint, because commission might have sent it to you for necessary action, as the officer would have been below the commission's jurisdiction. Allegation might be serious, but the officer is not covered in the commission's jurisdiction. That is why it is being sent to you for necessary action. Or it may be having some administrative issue. So you can forward it to the administrative head of that particular unit to deal with it in an administrative manner. Okay. Then, when you receive a complaint, whether from the commission or from any source, you receive complaints directly from the complainant, you receive it through the ministry, you receive it from CBI, you receive it from CBC. Whenever you receive a complaint, you have to decide action on that complaint within a period of 2 months. And 2 months period would include seeking confirmation from the complainant. So it means practically within 30 days you have to decide whether the complaint needs to be investigated by you, it has a vigilance angle, and if it has a vigilance angle, then it will be investigated by you. If it does not have a vigilance angle, you have to forward it to the administrative unit after 30 days or within that period of 30 days. And if it has a vigilance angle and you have decided to conduct investigation, you will have to seek confirmation from the complainant. So maximum 1 month period is available to you for seeking confirmation. 15 days plus 15 days. So this 2 month period is available to you to decide on action to be taken on a complaint. If you receive confirmation, proceed further with the investigation. If you do not receive confirmation, then you can simply file it. Is it clear? Now, as I told you that when you are seeking, when you are deciding to take action on a complaint, you have to seek confirmation. In case of those complaints which have been received by you from the commission, the action taken on those complaints is to be uploaded on the complaint portal. In the new portal that was launched on 3rd of November last year by the Honorable Prime Minister, there is a provision that the status of action taken has to be uploaded. If you do not upload that, then the complaint would be shown pending against you whenever in the QPR or whenever in the review meeting, this complaint would come up for discussion. And if the CVO tells that he has already dealt with complaint, then because of you, he might have to cut a sorry figure. Commissioner would ask, why didn't you update the status? So status has to be updated. So these are the two circulars which were issued in 21 and 22. The circulars, they are available on the Commission's website in downloadable form. How many of you are regularly visiting the Commission's website? Tell me honestly. Only one or two. If you want to do your work in an efficient manner, my advice to you is, in the morning when you come, just take 10 to 15 minutes and visit the Commission's website. You will find all relevant information available there. Visit the Commission's website, see what are the latest guidelines issued by the Commission. There are other older guidelines are available under the head, these different heads are there, guidelines, circulars, and in CVO's corner, different subheads are also there. All the performance, everything is available there. That would be very useful to you in discharge of your duties. So visit the Commission's website. Commission's Vigilance Manual is also available on our website. You can download it, and we are in the processing of updating our manual. In case you find that there are some areas which require more clarity, I request all of you to send me a communication through your CVO, so that we will take cognizance of that. After the VAW, this work of updation of manual would be proceed in full swing. So now is the high time for sending these suggestions to the Commission, so that when I do maybe by February next year, we would try to bring out the next issue of the Vigilance Manual. So before that, I would be able to incorporate the changes, suggestions. We will consider your suggestions, and whatever is possible, we will try to incorporate that. Now comes the next part, action on anonymous complaints. That Commission and DOPD, we have already issued guidelines that no action is required to be taken on anonymous complaint. Yeah. If any complaint is anonymous,
sir, if we have received any anonymous or pseudonymous complaint, but as an vigilance officer, if I am thinking that this complaint is genuine, then can we go for further investigation?
you mean to say the complaint has substance?
Yes.
I will give you a practical solution to that. That whenever you receive an anonymous complaint, file it. You are not supposed to take action on it. Okay, but you keep the contents of that complaint in mind and you conduct a surprise check. But please do not take action on the basis of that complaint. Do not quote that complaint. What people are doing, that they are conducting surprise inspections. They are filing that complaint. They are conducting surprise inspection, and in surprise inspection they are writing, first sentence they are writing, we received an anonymous complaint in which this issue was raised, hence we went for a surprise check. That link should not be there. Then you are free to take action. You have the authority to conduct surprise check, routine check, preventive check, whatever nomenclature you may give it. But please do not quote this complaint. So what some people say is that we will convert it into a source information. That is also not possible. As per Commission's guidelines, source information, the source should be known to you. It may not be disclosed publicly, but you should know who the source is. An anonymous source is just an anonymous complaint. So no action is required to be taken. Why? Because now we have a provision for PITP complaint. Under PITP, the identity of the complainant is not disclosed to anybody. It is kept secret. So there is no need for you to take action on PITP complaint, or no need for anybody to make complaint or to adopt the anonymous or pseudonymous route to make complaint. Because if he fears for his safety, he can make a complaint through under the PITP. And this PITP is not to be confused with the whistleblower mechanism which is available under the Companies Act. All of you are companies, so you know very well that there is a whistleblower mechanism as per the Companies Act. That is only for the employees. And that complaint is to be made to the audit committee of the board. It is not open to general public, and this under this whistleblower mechanism, internal whistleblower mechanism, complaint cannot be made to the commission or to the CVO of the ministry. Now this confusion has arisen because of use of the word whistleblower. In PIDP also the complainant is called whistleblower, and in that in the Companies Act also the name given to that complainant, internal complainant, is a whistleblower. That's why this confusion has arisen. So please make sure that there is no such confusion. A PIDP mechanism is a different mechanism, and this mechanism came into force as a result of the Supreme Court hearing in the Satyendra Dubey murder case, NHAI case. You might be aware of that. He was an engineer of NHAI who raised some issues of corruption, and it is believed that because of his raising those issues, he was murdered. And after that, Supreme Court gave directions to the government to establish a mechanism under which the whistleblower can make a complaint without his identity getting disclosed to general public or to anybody. So the government of India, it took the easiest way. It passed a resolution and it left everything to the CVC. Okay, आप कीजिएगा. So CVC was made the designated agency to receive complaint under the PIDP resolution and to take action on that. So in whistleblower mechanism, in 14th of August 2013, CVOs of the ministries, they were made the designated authorities to receive complaints. Why this difference in nomenclature? Because only the CVO of the ministry is authorized, nobody else. The ministry as such, as an organization, is not authorized. Whereas the commission as an agency is authorized to receive complaint and to take action on that. And in the commission, we will decide that who would be the person who would receive and process these complaints. But in the ministry cannot decide. It is already decided that only the CVO of the ministry is the authorized person to receive complaints and to act on complaints from whistleblowers. Now, why there is a need for this whistleblower mechanism? Because when a person may be aware of some misdoings in some public organization and a perceived misconduct or a misconduct which he has seen, if he brings it to the notice of the government agencies, he may fear for his personal safety. Maybe physical harm, professionally he can be harmed if he has made a complaint against his senior or against his colleague. So his career may be at stake. He may face a physical threat. There are psychological damage or psychological harm can be done. There will be constant fear by a senior that I know you made a complaint against me. So when the time comes, I'll see that some strict action is taken against you. If somebody keeps on bothering you like that every day, it's a great psychological damage. So keeping in view all these things, it is required that whenever a person is aware of some wrongdoings in government organization and he wants to disclose it to an agency who can take action on these complaints, then there should be a safety net available to him that his name would not become public. That is why there is a proper need and proper mechanism which has been established for making such complaints, which is called the PITB resolution. Now, how we take action on PITB complaints? As the gentleman, you asked that question. So to answer your question, if Commission is the primary agency to act on PITB complaint, whenever we receive a PITB complaint, this envelope is to be superscribed that PITB complaint or complaint under PITB resolution, whistleblower complaint, whatever you may say, it may give an indication that it is a complaint under PITB resolution from a whistleblower. That envelope is not opened by anybody in the Commission. Not even CVC is authorized to open it. You might be surprised to know that head of the organization is not authorized to open it. There is a separate cell. In that cell, it would be opened. Only 2 or 3 persons are there. They are the only authorized people to open that complaint and to know the identity of the complainant. After that envelope is opened, they would see whether his name, etc., and all these things are given. Then a confirmation letter would be sent by those persons only to the complainant, asking for identity proof also.
By registered post? By registered post or some?
By registered post.
But that can in itself reveal the...
How? How?
The postman or something...
Some local postal address that detail will come that something from CBC has come to this employee. Means suppose sir,
No,
a very big
if
state
some,
and-
that you need not, no, you need not give your official address. If something is coming from CBC, it does not mean that it has to be in this thing. And moreover, we take adequate care. It is sent in a double envelope. The inside envelope, which contains details about CBC and all that, that envelope, first that envelope is prepared, letter is prepared, it is kept in that envelope, and that envelope is sealed in the section only. We take adequate care. Just 1 minute. After that, the second envelope is there. On that, there is no indication, nothing, just normal, like any other communication, and that is sent to post. So postal people would not know what does it contain. Yeah.
तो जो PITB कंप्लेन होता है तो उसका वेरिसिटी कंफर्म होता है कि नहीं होता है?
Yes.
होता है, सर।
Yes. इसीलिए तो हम चिट्ठी भेजते हैं. You had a question?
Sir, in PITB complaint, the complainant can separately write his name on another paper or on the top or bottom of the complaint.
That's a good question. You see, in a PITB complaint, the complainant should ensure that in the text of the complaint or allegation, there should not be any indication which should reveal his identity. What we recommend is that he should give his name, address, personal details on a separate sheet of paper. If that is not possible, it should be either at the top or at the bottom, so that his identity can be masked easily. And when we receive confirmation from the complainant, we tell him that please, when you sending this, you please write complaint under PITB resolution or PITB resolution, so that again that letter would not be opened by anybody, it would go straight to that section. After that, there is no contact, no communication with the complainant. And once we receive that confirmation, if it is confirming to the other parameters, which I will tell you in a while from now, what we do, that original complaint is kept in a separate almirah under lock and key, and a dummy file is created after masking the identity of the complainant, and that dummy file is processed in the commission. The allegations are scrutinized. There is a screening committee. The screening committee goes through the contents of the complaint, and if we find that the complaint is serious, we decide about action to be taken on that complaint. which may include seeking investigation and report from the CVO, or we may even send it to the CVO for necessary action. If we are sending it for necessary action, then you take whatever action you deem fit, but because it is a complaint under PITB resolution, the identity of the complainant is masked by the commission, and we also tell you, you might have received some complaints. In that it is written that it is a complaint received under PITB resolution, so it should not be considered as an anonymous complaint. And you are not required to confirm identity of the complainant. You have to simply decide on action that is to be taken on that complaint based on merits of the allegations. If we are asking you to provide investigation report, in that case you have to provide an investigation report within a period of 12 weeks from the date of receipt of the complaint by you. Similar would be the procedure when you receive a complaint from the CVO.
The action will be taken by the company or by CBC?
Company about what?
Suppose we are in Bolivia and someone against the officer has sent a PITB complaint to CBC,
Yeah.
and CBC forwarded that complaint to the CBO of Bolivia, subsidiary, and Bolivia CBO inquired on the fact and all those things. Thereafter, what will happen?
See, the complaints are sent to you either for investigation report or for necessary action. In case it has been sent for investigation report, invariably a report is to be sent to the commission, then action would be decided.
Action will be taken by the CBC.
Action would be decided by the CBC and would be taken by Bolivia. Okay. If the complaint has been sent to you for necessary action, then you will take whatever action is deemed appropriate in that, on the basis of that complaint, and action taken report would be sent to the commission. Okay. Now third question comes. That on scrutiny of the complaint, you find that this officer is covered under the commission jurisdiction, or it has a vigilance angle against an officer which is covered under commission jurisdiction. Then investigation report is to be sent to the commission, and commission would decide about further course of action.
Second thing that other than employee can also lodge a complaint against PITB.
Under PITB, anybody can lodge a complaint under PITB. This employee restriction is only for whistleblower mechanism under the Companies Act. As far as this PITB complaints are concerned, anybody can lodge a complaint. But complaint has to be lodged either to CVC or to the CVO of the ministry. And your letter, it should be, the envelope should be superscribed complaint under PITB resolution. It should be sealed envelope, and it should be addressed to Secretary CVC. Normally it should be addressed to Secretary CVC. Even if you address it to CVC or anybody else, doesn't matter. But complaint under PITB resolution should be superscribed on that.
That will have to be mentioned on the envelope. But when we go to post office, they want the name and address of the sender.
Now for the last 2 years, we have already issued directions to postal authorities. If you are making a complaint under PITB resolution and you do not want to send it through ordinary post, you want to send it through registered post, you can do that, and postal authorities will not insist upon your name and other details. That is clear.
CBO of the ministry.
Yes.
CBO of this ministry.
Every ministry.
So if someone is complaint about Bolivia, the officer of Bolivia, then he will send the complaint to the CC or CBO of the ministry.
Any one of them.
Any one of them.
But if you receive a complaint which is and the envelope is masked PITB, please do not open that envelope. Simply forward that envelope to CVC or to CBO of the ministry that we have received one envelope which says complaint under PITB resolution. Since we are not authorized, we are sending it to you for further necessary action. Yes. Pardon? Please. Please don't discuss among yourself. I am here, you can ask me any question.
Sir, there is a supplementary question. Say PP complaint has been forwarded by CBC to the CBO.
Yeah.
Concerned, if we going through during the course of investigation, it was found that there is an involvement of board level officers.
Yes.
Can CBO is authorized to seek clarification or requisite the documents from that concerned?
CBO
Of that concerned PSU?
No.
Then what about the 12-week guideline? We are not able to adhere that guideline in case there is.
In that case, you are not supposed to adhere to those guidelines. You have to simply forward the complaint to the. Listen to me. I am answering your question. If you feel that there is a board level officer is involved, whatever you have done till that time, all the papers you should send immediately to the CBO of the ministry and endorse a copy of that letter to the commission stating that the complaint that was forwarded by the commission for I&R, it involves a board level employee, and as per commission's guidelines we are not authorized, hence we have forwarded it to the CBO of the ministry along with all relevant papers. Further, commission may like to take up the matter with the CBO of the ministry.
So the role of the concerned officer of the CBO of that CBS has been
It becomes a composite case. Ministry will seek a report from you about the involvement of other officials and about the board level officials. They will investigate, or they can seek a factual report from you, but further investigation action will have to be taken by the ministry only. And then they will send a report to the commission. Yeah.
Sir, in case of on the envelope, by mistake it is written that CBO of the PSU, and that is a PIP complaint. In that case, what we have to do? Either we can file it or we will forward it to the commission.
See, if it is written on the envelope, you simply forward it to the. Why do you want to open the envelope?
No, actually, CBO of the PSU, it is addressed to CBO of the PSU.
But PIP is written.
Yeah.
If PIP is written, it may be addressed to the CBO. It will come to you only if it is addressed to you only.
Yeah.
If it is addressed to me, it won't come to you.
No.
But if PIP is written, then you don't open it. Simple.
But the complainant is addressing to wrong person. The point is that it is PIP complaint. It should have addressed to the CBO or PSU. But the person has somehow, by mistake or he has sent it to the CBO of the concerned PSU.
Yeah. He has made a mistake.
Yeah.
You see, we should not be very insistent on finding fault with other people. The complainant, he may not be a very educated person. He may not know fully that how the PIP resolution works. He feels that every CBO can receive complaint under PIP. So if he has made a mistake, you rectify that mistake. You are not authorized to open a PIP complaint. This should be your Brahmavakya. And any envelope which you receive on which PIP word is there, do not open that envelope, send it to the commission or to the CBO of the ministry for further action. Your job ends there. If he has made a mistake, you need not make another mistake. Okay.
Sir, if it is not to CBO for the necessary action in the PIP complaint, then it is not possible to verify the complaint.
No. You are not required to verify. You are not required. It is clearly written. Whenever you has anybody received any complaint for necessary action? Any PIP complaint so far? You have received. So there it is clearly written that this complaint has been made under PIP resolution. Therefore, his identity of the complainant is being withheld by the commission, and no verification, no confirmation is to be sought from the complainant. That is clearly written, and you are not required to conduct verification. You are simply straight away take whatever action is required to be taken. If you find that the complaint is having a vigilance angle and the officer is covered under commission jurisdiction, send a report to the commission. If it is not within commission jurisdiction, you take action. If it is board level, as the gentleman pointed out, send it to the ministry immediately and intimate the commission. Now a person, if he wants to, what is the difference between the action to be taken by the CB of the ministry and action to be taken by the commission? That as I told you, that commission has a separate cell and the complaints are processed and action is taken on the complaints based on merits. The similar action is to be taken by the CB of the ministry. He can forward it to you for investigation report and he can investigate it himself, but the only difference is if the complainant raises an issue of his personal safety, he wants protection, then CBO of the ministry is not authorized to take action on that. That complaint has to be sent to the commission for appropriate action. We will consider that issue, and if we feel that the complainant requires protection, then we will issue appropriate directions. Okay. Now, as I told you that a PITP complaint, it should be addressed to Secretary CVC, it should be in a sealed cover, it should be marked PITP complaint, whistleblower complaint, and preferably the name and address of the complainant should be at the bottom or at the top or on a separate sheet of paper. Email complaint, CMS portal complaint, they will not be considered as PITP complaint because when you are sending a complaint through email, you have already disclosed your identity to so many people. And regarding this issue of Department of Post, as I already told you, that we have already issued guidelines to Department of Post that whenever a person is lodging a complaint under PITP or any envelope is there, Department of Post will not insist on the identity of that complainant. They will simply send the complaint to the commission. We also request the complainants not to enter any into repeated correspondence with the commission, because whenever you make repeated correspondence, there is the possibility of disclosure of your identity increases with every correspondence that you make. Action on the complaint is taken in the commission depending on the merits of the case. Complaints are processed through a screening committee which is headed by none other than Secretary of the Commission, and then we take action. We decide what action is to be taken. If it is to be sent for IR, we send it for IR, otherwise we send it for necessary action, we may even file it. Yes. Now, what are the types of complaints which are filed? So here is that complaint is addressed to many authorities. A person, he may be sending a envelope to the commission saying complaint under PITP resolution. But in that complaint itself, he might have endorsed it to 10 different authorities. So our main job is to keep the identity of the complainant confidential. That is what separates a normal complaint from a PITP complaint. So if he has sent it to 10 people, it means his identity cannot be withheld. So we will simply file it. If documents have been retained through RTI, so you would know, if somebody has obtained documents from you through RTI, you would know that the documents have been obtained through RTI, this is the person, his identity stands revealed. Open complaints, if there are more than one signatory, 3 people, they say we are making a complaint through under PITP, because it means at least 3 people know each other. So that is also to be filed. Complaint which contains information which leads to disclosure of his identity. Suppose the complaint says, I was working in a particular area as J or A or XCN or whatever as a deputy director in that department, and during my tenure I have seen that one director has indulged in these kinds of irregularities. So it will of course lead to his disclosure of his identity. So we simply file those complaints, we do not take any action on these complaints. Okay. Now their commission has issued guidelines from time to time. All these guidelines, they are available on our website. You can download these guidelines. There is a separate subhead of complaints. Under that head you will find. And we have issued recently in February 22, we brought out the latest public notice also. That notice will contain a lot of information. Now next comes that how do you interact with the commission, and what are the other things, other types of cases that you deal with as far as the commission is concerned. Now you approach the commission for advice in vigilance cases. Commission's advice is to be sought at two stages. One is first stage advice and another is second stage advice. First stage advice is after completion of investigation but before initiation of any action. Second stage advice is after completion of disciplinary proceedings, inquiry proceedings, but before imposition of a penalty. So whenever you are approaching the commission for advice, it should be in respect of a case which has a vigilance angle. For administrative issues, you need not approach the commission for advice. The definition of vigilance angle has been given in chapter 1, para 1.4 of the commission's vigilance manual. Please go through that in detail. There are certain acts which constitute vigilance angle where it is absolutely clear that it has a vigilance angle. Can anybody throw some light? What are the actions which you generally perceive that these have vigilance angle? You might have dealt with complaint cases, so many of them. Can you tell me? Without opening your mobile and the commission's vigilance manual.
This is where there is
One by one.
It is established that illegal gratification is involved in.
Yes. Another?
Undue favor or advantage, official dealing or any undue advantage passed to the vendor.
Yes.
Unnecessary procedure delay.
Delay would constitute, but then a call has to be taken.
Due loss to the vendor.
undue loss.
Loss to not to the organization, not to the vendor. Undue loss to the organization. Undue loss to the organization and having assets disproportionate to known sources of income. Taking bribe. These are things which constitute vigilance angle. It's very obvious. But for other things, you have to take a call. And what should be the deciding factor? The deciding factor should be whether the officer's integrity is doubtful or not. If his integrity is doubtful, it becomes a vigilance angle. It is given in very elaborate form in para 1.4 of our vigilance manual. Go through that. It has been given there. So that's something. There are a few, or you can say, whenever there is a criminal act, that will surely constitute a vigilance angle. If it is not a criminal act, you take a call whether it involves doubtful integrity. If officer's integrity is in doubt, it has a vigilance angle. Okay. As you say, inordinate delay. If delay indicates towards doubtful integrity, maybe delay was there because he wanted some undue favor from the contractor, from the person whose file is processing, it will have a vigilance angle. If maybe delay was inadvertent, suppose the file was misplaced. So, of course, it is a procedural lapse. We should have kept a proper inventory of files and all that. But if it is not, if it is a genuine mistake, then it is a procedural lapse, not a vigilance angle. So that way vigilance angle is to be decided. If vigilance angle is there and the officer is covered under commission's jurisdiction, then commission is to be approached for first stage advice. All of you are category A PSU, so in respect of you, the officers of 8 and above and board level officers, they would be covered under commission's jurisdiction. So board level officer, ministry would be taking action, they would be approaching. For E8 and above, you would be approaching the commission directly for advice. Now, a question comes that normally in a case, it is not possible that only E8 and above would be involved, lower level officers would not be involved. If multiple levels of officers are involved, what would happen? In that case, that becomes a composite case. And in a composite case, commission's advice is required in respect of all the officers covered under, all the involved in that case. You will have to approach the commission for advice for all the officers. Then, if you investigate a complaint and the CBO and DA, they both agree that it does not have a vigilance angle, it is an administrative issue, then the case can be dealt with at the level of the organization itself. But if there is a difference of opinion between the DA and CBO about the existence of vigilance angle, which is not finally reconciled, then the matter has to be sent to the commission for advice. Again, even if all the officers are below the commission jurisdiction, here, even if all the officers are below commission jurisdiction, even that case would be sent to the commission for advice. If it is a case of difference of opinion between the DA and CBO. Otherwise, a case would be sent to the commission for advice if it has a vigilance angle and if at least one officer is under commission jurisdiction. Is it clear?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, all the officers or all the officials, means non-executives are also.
Yes, everybody, all officials. If one officer is involved who is covered under commission jurisdiction and all officers, officials are there, other officials are there who are not covered, in that case, the whole case would be sent to the commission for advice. If it is a case of difference of opinion between the DA and CBO, even if all the officials are below commission jurisdiction, even in that case, the case would go to the commission for advice. Clear? I am not receiving any queries from this corner particularly. I have noticed that. Why are you hiding?
सर इसमें एक क्वेश्चन था
Yeah.
एफएसए जब लोग शेयर करते हैं जनरली कम्स की एफएसए जिसके बेसिस पे लिया गया है इन्वेस्टिगेशन रिपोर्ट द प्राइमरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन
Yeah.
जनरली वो टेंडेंसी रहती है कि दैट आल्सो शुड बी प्रोवाइडेड इज इट मैंडेटरी और शुड अवॉइड दैट स्पेशली इन केस to the charge officer CEO. CEO is asking in the proceeding to supply the report based on which FSA has been shot.
Before submitting his reply.
No, during the proceeding, during the discipline proceeding, he is asking for the report based on which FSA has been shot.
No, not required.
We have supplied the FSA but not the document based on which.
Not required. You have to provide in the document based on which charge sheet has been
Yes,
framed.
we have supplied.
Yes, that's not required. It's irrelevant.